Hello, I am coming to talk to you today about meditation. And I get it, meditation can feel really difficult. We can feel like we don't have the time to meditate, we're just too busy. So, oftentimes, these are the biggest blockers for people actually getting started with meditation. I hear that time and time again, that people just feel like they don't have the time. But I would challenge you on that point. If you're thinking, I just don't have the time, I'm just far too busy, is that because you're thinking that you've got such a lot of things to do? Or is it, that you're busy being busy and you really spend quite a bit of your time doing things like scrolling through social media? Is it because you feel like you've got to sit down and meditate for a long time to get the benefits? If you knew that you could get a lot of the benefits from as little as 5 minutes a day, you surely have 5 minutes a day. If you don't have 5 minutes a day to yourself, then I would ask you to come and talk to me, because you really need to sort that out. You really need to take action about that. If you can never get 5 minutes peace just to yourself, you need to meditate more than anyone. So if you knew that you could do it in that little amount of time, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you've got, would you do it then? The next blocker that I hear from people is that they're not doing it right. So when we sit down to meditate, the thoughts start whirring. It's a bit like when you can't get to sleep at night, or you've woken up in the middle of the night and you've just got all this stuff on your mind, and you're like, well, if I just sit down and meditate, I'm not really meditating, I'm just thinking. If that's the case, I've got a couple of tips for you. So, the biggest mistake we can make is to think that meditation is about ceasing the thoughts. It's not. The more that we fight with something, the more that it resists. So, if your whole objective during your meditation is to try and push and squash and repress the thoughts, like, no, no, I don't want to look at it. No, go away, go away, go away. I'm meditating. The more they'll bounce back up. So, think of it like the cork on the water that's floating on the water. So all these little corks, all these thoughts are popping about on the water. And the more you try and press this one down, one bobs up over there. And then you press that one down and this one bobs back up. So the more we try and fight with our thinking, the more that they're going to come back. And it's going to put you off, because you're going to feel like you're not doing it right. What we resist persists. So instead, what do we do? I know that you're probably thinking, well, what do we do then? Do we just let ourselves think? Not exactly. So the practice of meditation is about training your mind. Just think of it like you would do if you were going to go and take up a gym practice and you were going to lift those weights. And the first day you go, that they're like little weights, and you're like, oh, I'm not very good at this, I'm just lifting these 1 pound weights and they feel heavy. But the more you go, the more you practice, the more you are consistent with it, the better you will get, and the stronger that muscle will become. And then you'll be able to lift heavier weights. And so it is with meditation. When we allow the thoughts, instead of pushing them down, we let them be there. But instead of going over and picking up one of those little corks and going, ooh, yeah, this one's about a project that I've got to do, and I've got to do this bit and this bit and this bit. So instead of like combining, we call it combining with the thoughts, instead of getting involved, we just look at it and we go, oh, yeah, that's a thought about the project. And we let it bob on the water and we let it float by. And then we might see another one might catch our eye. So it's we allow them to be there and we let them go. So we just let them go on their merry way. And in this practice, we use tools. So it could be that you use a breathing meditation, and your practice is that you're going to give your mind the breath to focus on. And then you see a little glittery cork that catches your eye, and you're like, oh, I really want to think about that. I need to book that restaurant. I need to book the train tickets. Blah, 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 blah. There's another cork, there's another cork. But you're going to practice going, I've just noticed the thoughts, but I'm going to bring my attention back to my breath inhaling and exhaling, or maybe you're noticing the air and how it feels in your nostrils. So you're being really present. So the idea is you give yourself something, you give your mind something that brings you back to the present moment. And that could be a walking meditation. So you could be practicing the feel of your foot as it rolls on the earth. You could be practicing looking and seeing everything that you see right now. The leaves changing color, the beautiful, gorgeous reds and golds and greens and browns. And then you notice a thought, you notice a cork bobbing past that could take you away from the present moment. And you allow it. You don't push it away. You don't pick it up and throw it. You just see it. Oh, that thought has popped into my mind. That's okay. I'm going to allow it to be there. But then I'm going to come back to this practice, which is my chosen practice, as in the walking meditation. Or maybe you are meditating on an object, on a rose or a crystal. It's the same practice. So this practice of observing, allowing, and letting go, and then finding a way to bring yourself back to the present moment is the practice. That is the work. So I hope that this has been useful. I know that people have been asking me to give more tips and more ideas and more practices on meditation. I hope this short video has helped you in some way with your meditation practice. I would love to hear from you. So I would love you to drop me a comment to let me know if this is useful. I'd love you to let me know how you found this YouTube channel. And I would dearly love you to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you would like to hear more from me in the future. I wish you love and light and all success with your meditation practice. Bye for now.